Okay, let's dig into this. We're focusing our deep dive today on Joel, specifically chapter 3.
Hmm.
And this chapter, it paints a really dramatic scene. It starts with restoration, right, for Judah and Jerusalem.
Yes, that's the starting point. In those days and at that time, the text says, when things are looking up for them again.
But then it takes a sharp turn. A massive gathering of nations for, well, divine judgment.
It's quite the sequence. Restoration for one group, then immediate accountability for others on a big scale.
Exactly. And you have to wonder, what does the text say these nations did to warrant this? And what's the hope offered after all this judgment?
Well, the text links it all. That restoration phrase, in those days and at that time, that's the trigger for what follows.
Which is the gathering. God gathers all nations, it says, into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Right. And it's not presented as, a negotiation. The text says, there I will enter into judgment against them.
So the location itself, Jehoshaphat,
Hmm.
doesn't that name mean something like Yahweh judges?
Precisely. The name itself underlines the purpose, according to the text. They're brought there for judgment.
Okay, so what's the main accusation? The core reason given in the text?
The central charge is about God's inheritance, my people Israel. Specifically, two things: scattering them among the nations and dividing up the land.
That's the big picture offense.
Yeah.
But the text gets much more specific, doesn't it? It lists some pretty brutal details,
Oh, absolutely. Really vivid, disturbing examples. Casting lots for people.
like gambling for human lives.
Exactly. And trading boys for prostitutes, selling girls just for wine. It's treating people as absolute commodities.
And it names names, too. Tyre, Sidon, the Philistine regions.
Yes, and accuses them of taking valuables, silver and gold, their finest treasures, and putting them in their own temples.
And crucially, selling the people of Judah and Jerusalem to the Greeks, to send them far away, the text emphasizes.
Right, so these aren't vague complaints. They're described as concrete acts of violence, theft, and, well, human trafficking.
And the text promises a payback, a consequence.
A swift one. It says their actions will return on your own heads.
And the described punishment seems to directly mirror the crime, almost like a reversal.
It really does. Because they sold the people of Judah, the text says God will in turn enable Judah to sell their sons and daughters to the Sabians, a nation far away. It's presented as a direct reversal of fortune.
Then there's that strange part, that call to arms for the nation.
Ah, yeah, prepare for war.
Yeah.
Rouse the warriors. Beat plowshares into swords, pruning hooks into spears. Even the weak should say, I am strong.
It sounds like they're being called to fight, but you said they're assembling for judgment.
Exactly. It's deeply ironic in the text. They're summoned for a conflict, but it's the judgment itself. The imagery then shifts, doesn't it?
Yeah, to harvesting. Swing the sickle, the harvest is ripe. And the winepress. Come, trample the grapes, the winepress is full.
Powerful metaphors for judgment, and the text is blunt about why. So great is their wickedness.
And this all happens in the valley of decision. The text stresses the day of the Lord is near.
Marked by these huge cosmic events described in the text. The sun and moon darkened, stars not shining.
And God roaring from Zion, thunder from Jerusalem shaking heaven and earth.
But here's the contrast the text draws. Amidst all that shaking, the Lord is a refuge, a stronghold, but specifically for his people, for the people of Israel.
So judgment for the nations based on their actions, but at the same time, security and this incredible restoration for Judah and Jerusalem. What does that restored future look like, just based on this chapter?
It's described as a future of peace, holiness, and, well, incredible abundance, all centered on God's presence. They'll know God dwells in Zion, Jerusalem will be wholly set apart, and foreigners won't invade again.
And the land itself.
Transformed. Mountains dripping new wine, hills flowing with milk, water in all the ravines, even a fountain flowing from the Lord's house providing life. It's a picture of complete renewal.
And this is explicitly contrasted with the fate of others.
Yes, the text mentions Egypt and Edom specifically. They'll become desolate wastes.
And the reason given circles back.
Directly back. Because of violence done to the people of Judah, in whose land they shed innocent blood. But for Judah and Jerusalem, the promise is habitation forever, through all generations.
There's also that final line about pardoning blood guilt.
Right. Their blood guilt, which I have not pardoned, I will pardon. It suggests even past wrongs within Judah are addressed in this final restoration, as the Lord dwells in Zion.
So pulling this together from Joel 3, it presents this stark picture. Judgment tied directly to how nations treated God's people and land, leading to their downfall, contrasted with Israel's secure, abundant future centered on God's presence, even with past issues addressed.
It's a powerful, self-contained vision within this one chapter.
So, for you listening, consider just what this text presents, that stark contrast between judgment based on specific actions and a detailed vision of restoration and security. According to this chapter, what does it suggest about the long-term weight of choices and the ultimate outcomes described?